So if you're watching this video, then you just watch the other one with the notes. So it's just going to do a couple quick practice ones here. So for the first one, it says find the area of each parallelogram. So the formula again is base times height. The base and the height have to make a straight 90-degree angle, and this little box here is what shows you that these two measurements are you're making your 90-degree angle. So the first one, you're just going to do your base times height, which is 14 times 12, which is 168, and then when you label it, you put the same label, which is an M, with a little 2 over it for meters squared. Or you could say square meters. So 168 square meters. The second one I'm actually going to do for you is a quick review here. So base times height, in this case we are doing 8.5 times 4. Hopefully you remember when you're multiplying by a whole number, you just write the denominator as a 1 every single time. Okay, you can't do a mixed number times a whole number, so you have to make this improper. So that's denominator times whole number and add the numerator. So 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17, so 17 over 2, so denominator stays the same, times 4 over 1. And then hopefully you remember from a while ago, you can do this thing called cross-canceling. So I can divide both of these by 2. So I get a 1 and a 2. And now I multiply my numerators and my denominators. And I'm going to get 34 over 1, which is just 34. And then the label is going to be feet for this one, and you put a little 2 over it for feet squared. So still base times height. That was just a recap on how to do it with fractions. So I'm going to put up a couple for you to try. So I'll bring those up in 1 second. Okay, so you're going to try these 3. So they're already set up for you. They're giving you the base and the height. You're literally just multiplying the numbers together and putting a label with a little 2 above it. So pause and try those ones. Here is one where they're giving you the shape and they're just putting it on a piece of grid paper. So you have to figure out what the base and the height are. So I'm going to do this one with you, and then I'll give you one to try. So you're just watching this one. So the base and the height, remember, have to make a 90-degree angle. So if I draw a line straight down here, and then I draw a line straight across this way, you have your base and your height. They're making this little 90-degree angle. So I want to count how many boxes are making the height. So 1, 2, 3. So my height is 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my base is 5. So I'm just doing base times height. 5 times 3 is 15. This one doesn't have a label, so I'm just going to write the word units. And then I'm going to put a little 2 over it because area always has a little 2 over it. So 15 units squared. So I'm going to bring up one for you to try. So you're going to pause and try the next one. Okay, so I'm going to have you pause for this one. Try to figure out your base and your height, keeping in mind they have to make a 90-degree angle. And then once you find your base and your height, multiply them and label it units squared. Okay, so pause right now. Try that one on the back. Okay, here's another one that I'm going to do out an example, and then I'm going to give you one to try. So they want us to find the area of the shaded region. So in order to do that, you need to figure out the area of the whole thing and then the area of the rectangular shape and then subtract them, just like on the notes. So let's take a look. So I already have my parallelogram. They're giving us the base and the height, 7 times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. Then they're giving us this little rectangle, length times width, 3 times 1 is 3. We want the area of the shaded part. That means we want the area of everything without the rectangle. So you take the area of everything, which is 35, and subtract the area of the rectangle. So that's going to be 32. And because it's area, label stays the same, so feet with a little 2 over it. All right, so now I'm going to give you one of these to try. So you find the area of the entire thing, find the area of the part inside, and then you're going to subtract them. So let me get you one of these ones to try. So I only want you to do this one on the bottom here. So they're giving you a parallelogram. So they're giving you the base and the height. You're going to find the area of the parallelogram, find the area of the rectangle, and then subtract them to get the area of the shaded part. So only try number 4. So pause it and try this one.